85,
90.
90, 95.
We're playing for keeps.
We're on the market. Stay strong, sir.
Sold!
Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 21st of October. I'm Philip Kingston.
I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, spring is underway. It's full steam ahead now. We've only got one more interruption before the end of the year, which is the horse race, the Melbourne Cup, where the nation really comes to a standstill at that 3:20, isn't it? 3:20?
Well, you know, it is. It's around about 3:20. It's the race that stops the nation, Philip, and it's a world famous race now. So that's a couple of weeks' time. So we'll probably push GPTV off till the Wednesday on that week, Phil. But
do you know,
we've got work to do.
I have a strong memory. This is, and keep in mind, viewers, we're not the youngest people going around, but I have a strong memory, strong memory from year 6. Mrs. Duckworth was the teacher.
I thought it was the name of a horse.
No, Mrs. Duckworth.
Here comes Mrs. Duckworth down the outside.
Duckworth was my grade 6 teacher.
Yep.
She was also the deputy prime Minister, deputy principal at Cootamundra Primary School.
She'll be watching this.
Right? All those years ago, we stopped what we were doing in class to listen to the race.
Well, we all did that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's 3:20 at primary school at Cootamundra.
Well, when you're as old as us, do you remember watching the landing on the moon from school? I remember watching the landing of the moon on school, and that was pretty crazy. But you know, but I don't know whether they had those sort of connections through to Cootamundra.
Well, we only had 2 channels, as you well know. What were they, Gary?
RNVA. There's ABC, and there's the RVNA. Or something like that.
Something like
RVNAB or something.
RVN2
that was the 2
or something.
stations.
2 stations we had, black and white, both of them.
And when I went to the farm back in those days, I'd go and sneak on the television. It wasn't the dumb thing. 2 stations were too many as far as the Kingstons were concerned.
Sure, we weren't allowed to watch television during the week.
No.
So Monday through Friday, there was no television.
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday, we could watch that television. But when you've only got 2 channels, like what are you going to watch? The Grazier's report on how the lambs are lambing this season.
No, it's great show, that one.
On the other channel, you know, I don't even know what there was.
The news, you know, there was just the news, the ABC News Countdown. You probably got to enjoy Countdown.
How the world has changed, Gary, all in the space of a generation or 2.
I remember going to America, Philip, and seeing 50 stations, you know, as a young man, and I thought we had 4 then in Australia. We only had 4, you know, 9, 7, 2 and O, Channel O, or 10. Anyway, Phil,
there is one constant, though, viewers. The one constant is that the auction system has been working beautifully in Melbourne for well over 150 years.
Much like television.
And it will continue to be the leading force in real estate because there is nothing like getting a buyer and a seller together at a moment in time and getting them to see eye to eye.
And much like television, Phil, it's moved to the modern era. No longer have you got those auctioneers that rang the bell, hear ye, 11 Findon Avenues going for auction.
Some auctioneers are still ringing the bell.
I know, we should go back to the bell.
It's kind of quaint, isn't it?
Oh, I like the bell. I had a bell.
Yeah.
You know,
I had a bell too.
My old boss, you know, who we remember fondly, Maurice Milgram, he gave me a bell, and I remember I left it behind a house one day, a fence, and lo and behold, the bell was gone. The bell tolled for the thief to come take it. Phil, let's just talk about what's going on in the world.
Who wants to steal an auctioneer's bell? What do you do with it?
Yeah, it's a good party trick. I suppose you take it to a party, you know, whatever turns you on. Phil, a good weekend, big weekend.
Another 90% clearance rate, Gary.
90% against the industry average of 72%. Let's get the towers up. Let's get the most music happening. Let's start with a bit of noise. That was good.
17 out of 19, Gary. And the 2 that were passed in are both outstanding properties.
Well,
and they will get sold. I'm going to talk very briefly about this incredible 1960s house, 70s house in Aruna Road, on 900 plus square metres of land, the most incredible renovation. That is a standout purchase for those of you that are looking at the top end of the market. Outstanding value, well below replacement cost.
Well, you know, there was a number of people there that had some interest in the property, Philip, but you know, one bidder, right? It's no shame. We had one bidder, one buyer, and hopefully we'll put that deal together. But you know, there was 100 odd people there, or maybe 150. A little bit different to my auction at 159 Hotham Street, Phil. 159 Hotham Street was only 7 people in a room. It was it's a bit confronting when you're auctioning to 7 people. It's almost like you feel like you need to put on a bit of a, you know, song and dance show because you keep them entertained. But anyway, 7 people, but 2 good bidders, Phil, and a 3rd possible bidder.
Do you know what? I'm going to just see you.
I took quality over quantity.
I'm going to see you and raise you, Gary, because I had my first auction was in Fitzroy Street. Viewers, here's a standout boast because it's never happened ever in my entire career. I'm doing an auction of this wonderful 2-storey town residence, which incredible. It's in the old French consulate.
Yes.
So a place with character and charm, dead centre Fitzroy Street, and Fitzroy Street's on the move, I'm telling you now. Anyway, I conduct the auction, Gary, and for the first time in my entire career, 20% of the crowd, now that's a big stat, 20% of the crowd were bidding for that property.
Well, I reckon I had a bigger percentage. And how many people were there?
I had 5 people at the auction.
And how many people were bidding?
1, that's
well,
20%.
Well, I did better. I had 2 out of 6 or something, so I reckon I had
33%.
I even knocked you off. Anyway, Fitzroy Street was sold for an undisclosed amount.
I think that's the key, viewers, for those of you that are wondering. We only need one buyer. One buyer is all it takes to transact. And if you think about it, there's no shame in having one buyer because it's a particular property at a particular price at a particular moment in time. You'll generally find there will be more bidders for generic product. So this was a very unusual home. Like, to an extent, the property that you had in Hotham Street was unusual.
It was unusual.
So,
unique.
So ultimately, one buyer gets a sale done.
And, some people would say, well, why do you go to auction for one buyer? Because sometimes that's what it needs, Philip. You bring the parties together, It's like, it's like a dating game, isn't it? A dating game, you can meet people online, but you go to a restaurant and, it brings people together. It's good for business for the restaurant.
You mean a bar? It's pretty creepy, Gary, if you're in a restaurant sitting at a table and you're going over to other tables to try and meet people. I mean, at a bar, I get it. But look, it's been a long time since you've been in the dating scene, Gary, and I'm not sure that's just creepy.
And I'm not sure that you're the one to be giving advice about that, mind you. But let's just keep going, Phil, because Sycamore Street was one of the very popular auctions of the weekend.
Love that auction.
I was busy at the time. I couldn't get to join you.
It was a beautiful family home built by the family for their family. So, been in the same family's hands for decades. I arrived at that property. It's a local iconic property because it's on the corner of Alder Street and Sycamore, kind of high on the hill. Yep. So if you've driven along Sycamore or Alder, you're going to see this house.
Alder or Alder?
Alder.
Okay. Alder.
You can say Alder. I'll say Alder, and
we'll work it out.
We'll work it out. But we had strong bidding for that. Doesn't surprise me because when I went into the house, I thought, you know what? Incredible floor plan.
Sold well over expectations, Philip. A little bit of a runaway train. We can start. We have that little train. I like that. Phil, sold for $2,205,000. So congratulations to the buyers and sellers. Phil, one of our very much runaway trains of the weekend was in Woorale Street in Carnegie. Graham Callan.
Shout out to Graham.
He's the boss of that block, Phil. He's the boss.
Do you know, Gary, this is his 29th transaction in that apartment building. And the good news is there's many, many more. Yeah. So we've just said, Graham, once you get to the end, go back to the start and just keep moving through that.
He is the mayor of Woorale, Phil.
He is?
He's the mayor of Woorale. We all pay homage to him.
Shout out to Graham. Couldn't meet a nicer man.
That's for sure. 4 bidders for that one, Phil. And he did a great job auctioning that, selling it for $480,000. More than expected. Phil, I did mention 159 Hotham Street. I had some fun there. It's a home that requires a lot of attention, love and care, but it's a big house. Some competition there took it just above its range, Phil, to 1718. The owners were overseas, so we had. What would we do without tech, right? We were able to do it all.
A phone.
Well, but they signing contracts.
The telephone, Gary, has been around for quite some time.
Yes, but signing contracts through tech in South Africa. That's pretty big, Phil. 61 Lansdowne Road was another hottie, Philip, a runaway train if there was ever one. Thank you. Now that one sold well above expectation, Phil. 5 bidders, and don't you love it when the buyer found it on the day? The buyer found the day, and don't you love
happens a lot?
And don't you love it when the buyer found it through print media, Phil?
Yes,
because there's not a lot of buyers.
Good old-fashioned print that everyone says, I'm not going to advertise in print. No one reads print.
Waste of time.
You'd be amazed, viewers, how many properties we sell because it was seen in print.
And Phil, 3 at 55 Carlingford Street, we sold for a very special family, and congratulations to them. Sold for $962,500.
What a lovely apartment! I really like that apartment.
Yep.
Courtyards do add value. So if you've got a potential courtyard, you should always do the best to enclose it and turn it into a lovely garden area.
Always an interesting one. Phil, I want to talk a bit about tenants becoming buyers.
Right.
Now,
are we calling them tenants, Gary?
Well, I am. I was just about to jump in and you cut me off because there's some other Victorian name for tenants. I don't know anywhere in the world other than Victoria. We find our own language now, but I'm just going to refer to them as tenants.
A tenant now is a renter.
Well, I think yes. So
Yeah, there's a renter and a rent provider.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Well, let me just go to this, Gary. In this politically correct world,
you try to tap into this. It never works.
No.
I'm just going to explain. You get on the bandwagon. Gary, and you think you're so modern.
I'm not endorsing Gary.
You're not,
Gary.
Yeah,
Gary.
Yes.
I'm not necessarily endorsing it. I'm just letting you know why there is a whole industry of changing things.
All
right.
Go on.
So a tenant and a landlord goes back to old English days, and the politically correct world says we've got to change everything to a new word because we might offend somebody. I don't know. I'm not sure there's anything wrong in offending a few people occasionally.
I don't know who'd be offended by being a tenant. I mean, we've been tenants, right?
Yep.
I didn't put my head in the sand and cry.
Do you know what? When I was a tenant, if I had that experience over again, I'd have something to be upset by. When I was a tenant...
Well, you got something to be upset by. It's called a mortgage.
When I was a tenant, I was quite happy there, Gary. We were quite happy. It was a one-bedroom apartment on the corner of Raglan and Crimea.
I was across the road.
You were across the road. And I don't remember being unhappy.
No.
But if I'd actually taken the moment to reflect on this is an old English tradition where I am tied to a landlord as some sort of underling.
Oh, the indignation.
Those would have been miserable days, Gary.
Well, what I love, I love it when people, you have this occasionally, you have people that they'll sell their home, right, and then they'll rent it back for a period.
Yes.
And then I say to them, well, what about all the things that you're unhappy about? They go, the plumbing's though. When they own it, it's fantastic. They sell it, it's fantastic. And then they become the tenant.
Yeah.
That I can't live with that door like that. The plumbing's no good here. Hey, how about that switch that keeps flicking? The owner's got to fix it up.
We get to see the very best and the very worst in a lot of situations. And I've got to tell you, all people are interesting.
They are, Phil, and our job is to deal with them. And don't we love doing it? And aren't we 100%. Privileged and blessed?
I think truly, I do believe it is a great privilege.
As you've done so many times, you've railroaded me away from my comments. So I'm going to just bring it back. I had a point to make.
Okay.
But tenants, renters, are becoming rent providers.
Yes.
Well, they're not really rent providers because they're just becoming buyers.
Well, a landlord.
So, they're not landlords because they are no longer renting. They are owners.
Yeah.
So tenants becoming owners.
Yes.
It's happening, Phil.
Yes.
And not only is it happening, because there was a sale that we've just done it was a little bit off market, a property in St Albans Avenue. Interesting case, because the person who lived there, it was going to be sold.
Yes.
They would have had to have moved for the sale.
Yes.
They got to test and trial it.
Yes.
And they ended up buying it. We just had one in Alma Road, and there's another one
in Warrail.
In Warrail Street.
Yeah.
So isn't it interesting? I think it's interesting that, because we've never seen the emergence of that happening so often, that tenants become... Yesterday's tenants are today's owners.
You think it's interesting? Nuclear fusion is interesting, Gary.
Yes.
Right?
And you understand it so well, don't you? You would know about nuclear fusion.
I'm not sure if we're going to compare that long drawn out story with nuclear fusion.
You know what?
I'm not sure that was interesting.
Because you came to talk about nuclear fusion, is that right? Because you would know, because when you're a farmer in Cootamundra, nuclear fusion is just something that it's just natural. Like water off a duck's back.
I read widely and deeply about nuclear fusion when I was growing up, because we only had 2 stations to watch.
That's right, nuclear fusion.
So my mother and father would just bring me books. Here's one on nuclear fusion. Memorise it.
And you learnt that in the real estate course. It took 30 years to complete. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, can you just get on with it, Gary?
Fair enough. Let's talk about some of the things we've got coming up this weekend, Phil, because we've had our say, we've had our boast, we've had our little rap from the weekend, and we've had some fun. But there's more to do, Phil. There's work to do.
Let's take all of this out.
We've got some options coming up.
Why don't you start? Do you know how many, Gary? Have you done the preparation to tell us how many options?
When I stall like this, what's the answer?
Probably not.
No idea.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
You don't see many wild stallions anymore. No, you don't see many wild stallions anymore. And even if he did run off 3 of your best mares, he's one of the last of a wild and very singular breed. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlborough country.
Okay, we know it's not politically correct, viewers, but I do remember cigarette commercials used to be the best commercials. So hope you enjoyed that little bit of nostalgia.
It's not an ad. It's just a bit of going back.
We are not endorsing smoking.
No, exactly right. Although we're going to run smoking ads now because it's fun to look back and see what people were doing wrong.
100%.
Phil, we've got no less than 38 auctions coming up. We can't wait for the weekend.
I tell you, this will really test who watches this show because we'll either get a whole bag of complaints or a whole bag of people going, you know what, I remember that Alpine was my favourite commercial.
Join the Escort Club. Do you know the Escort Club? The Escort cigarettes. Dave, you looked at me funny. The Escort Club's not related to what you were thinking, Phil. The Escort Club means the Escort Club. There was a song, Join the Escort Club, and how much? Join the club, join the Escort Club. 38 cents. And you remember, that's how much it was, a packet of cigarettes, to come and join the Escort Club. Phil, a massive centre that was dedicated towards a medical purpose, Phil, is now being cleared as land, and what an opportunity. 38 Poth Road, Hughesdale is my auction at 12 o'clock Wednesday.
Gary, incredible. 1,082 square metres of land with a 2-street frontage, 34.69 metre frontage, and the other side street, 34.14. So, you know, that's a blank canvas for people to do with what they will, subject to council approval, of course.
Indeed, Phil. Adjoining the land is this wonderful house in Paget
You're
Street.
going to be meeting Christian de Vries there and Dizzy Wang. That's a beautiful 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom home with a double lock-up garage. That's a magnificent property that you can move straight into and get on with life.
Gilbert O'Sullivan it was, Phil, that sang a song called Oh Claire, or Claire, and I'm going to be in Clare Street in McKinnon at 10:30am.
Meeting Joel Sir and Kevin Huang. A wonderful, wonderful townhouse. 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage. That is a wonderful home.
This is a cool spot here, Phil. Merker Lane, Securta. Jeremy Rosens is the auctioneer, and Liam Elbaum has been handling that together.
And what a cool place this is. Merker Lane is super, super cool. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and a rooftop terrace.
11:30am, Buckley Street in Carnegie is where Leo Samuel has his second auction for the day.
He's meeting Izzy Anstey and Aviv Samuel there. What a great home this is. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, off-street car parking, beautiful parcel of land. What a great home.
This should be popular, Phil, because it's in a popular spot and it's going to be a popular auction. 22 Poplar Street in Caulfield South.
5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, double lock-up garage, a very manageable parcel of land. Joel Sir and Kevin Huang have had the honours.
206 at 1177 Glen Huntley Road. Glen Huntley is under the hammer at 11:30.
Nikki Janover and Jessica Filipovic have been handling this extra large apartment. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 secure car space and a storage cage. That's a ripper.
What a great looking home this is in North Road, Caulfield South. Phil, you're meeting Arlene there at 1:30 to auction this.
And Nikki Janover, what a stunning property. Sits on 655 square metres of prime land, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 3 cars or more, and a swimming pool. So that has got the whole thing. That's got the whole. That's the whole shebang, Gary.
Sure is. Natalia Koropets is the agent who is meeting Aviv and auctioneer Leo Samuel at Burke Road, Malvern East.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a lock-up garage. Plenty of courtyard garden area. Love those homes. Totally affordable.
Jeremy Rosen's third auction for the day is in Shelley Street. This beautiful, splendid old style apartment.
Well, we're
in
calling
Elwood.
it Art Deco, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Nikki Janover, Jessica Filipovic have had the honours there. There's some gorgeous common areas there for table and chairs where the owners of the building can sit and talk to each other and form a community. What a beautiful apartment. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space.
Your fourth auction of the day, Phil, is 27 Moore Street, Caulfield South, and we wish we had more of these for sale.
Gary, what a great family home. Sits on 667 square metres of land. Moore Street has developed as a really, really standout top street. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. Joel Sir and Kevin Huang have had the honours. That's family living at its finest.
Simon Rudolnik will be at 7 Corby Street in Bentley, meeting Leon, and what a great looking property.
John Sweepo has had the honours there. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, single level, carport and plenty of garden area.
When you thought Munsters was just a great TV show, it's also a terrific address in Carnegie. Phil, 338 Munster Avenue is being auctioned by Leo.
Rishi Thacker has had the honours of handling that property. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage. That's great real estate. We love those villas.
And that's not his last auction, Leo. He's got his 6th auction. That's a big day, Phil. 6 is a big day. He's going to be in Lansdowne Road for this terrific terrific apartment. We've sold a number in this block. We love it.
Meeting Izzy Anstey there. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a car space. The extra large apartment. I really like that apartment inside. It's really good real estate, walking distance to the Armour Village and a tram and Dandenong Road.
Yeah, we're bringing down the curtain at 3:30. I'm going to be meeting you and Joel Sir and Ben Rothschild. We're all going to be there, Phil, at 7 Liscard Street, Earl Street. What a splendid home this is.
Gary, this is in the Golden Mile of Elstonwick, walking distance to Glen Huntly Road. This is 3 magnificent bedrooms, 2 beautiful bathrooms, off-street car parking. It's been fully renovated throughout. There's nothing to do there. Just move straight in. Joel Sir and Benjamin Rothschild will see you there. They've loved being there.
That is a stunning home, Phil. First time offered in many years and a great location. And that is a big wrap for Cox Plate Day, Phil, on Saturday. And for those that got onto the favourite and Caulfield Cup and won, good luck to you. Sunday, Phil, I am doing an auction on Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. and loving it.
You'd better be up and about, Gareth.
Oh, yeah.
I suggest you don't go out on Saturday night, have an early night. You're going to be meeting Aviv and Lydia there. This is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking, including a lock-up garage, plenty of garden area, really good property, and Turner Avenue. I'm going to say that's part of the Golden Mile of Glen Huntly.
I think you'd be safe to say that, Phil. It's one of 5 auctions I'm doing on Saturday. My second one is in Kooyong Road, Elstonwick. This is a great home. I've been involved with this terrific property. Nothing to spend there, Phil. 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, been totally overhauled. Double lock-up garage. Great location. I'm meeting Mark Kirkham and Adi Ignatius at 10:30 until we move on.
Summarised beautifully.
Thank you very much. I'll let you wrap with 132B Bamber Road, your 10:30
Gary,
auction.
this is the Rolls Royce of town residences. This is brand new, never been lived in. This has been a display home for Carter Grange. They're so proud of it. They wanted to show it to the public.
Beautiful.
4 bedrooms, 4 incredible bathrooms, a double lock-up garage. This is house size. So Leon Gusenfitter and Leo Yu have had the honours there. That really is. It sits on a magnificent parcel of land. I love that home.
Oh, Mar, this has been a popular home, Phil. The price guide's been adjusted and I'm looking forward to being there at 11:30. That's 1 at 12 Omar Street, Caulfield
You're
South.
meeting your young son there and Romy Skolnick, who've had the auction honours there. Daniel Peer, Romy Skolnick, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, which is a massive bonus when buying those. That's a really good property. And you are right, Omar is an incredible street.
Doesn't get much better than Parkside Living, Phil. 34 Park Crescent, Caulfield North, has been a popular home, and I know Christian De Vries, Dizzy Wang's excited, and Leo Samuel's the auctioneer.
As they should be, because this is a great property directly opposite Caulfield Park. And let's face it, that's one of the best parks in Melbourne. You've also got the tram on your front door in Balaclava Road and the East Caulfield Shopping Centre. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage where you can actually, I reckon, get 2 medium-sized cars in there.
Phil, occasionally you meet people who grew up in a court or cul-de-sac that was closed. They kicked the footy because there was never any traffic and played cricket on the street. And that's a beautiful existence, Phil. And I've got to say, if you buy number 14 Rose Hill Avenue, you may well be able to do that with your children.
This is a really interesting property, Gary, because it's an unusual shape, but it's a really good shaped parcel of land. It sits at the end of the court, so you can get some real drama with your facade if you're going to build a brand new home. Or, of course, you could add on to the existing home that's there. That's 720 square metres of prime North Caulfield land, which I think falls into the affordable category.
12:30, we're in Glenora Road, Ripponlea. Jeremy Rosen's auctions for Mark Kirkham. This terrific apartment, great spot.
Isn't it a beautiful looking building? 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. It's actually got a lock-up garage. That is a really beautiful home. And you've got a courtyard garden there. Mark Kirkham and Adi Ignatius have had the honours there.
And I've had the honours, Philip, of seeing this home, speaking to the vendors. We've sold it once before. I'm just going to talk a bit about this. 76 Alexander Street, Security East, is the most wonderful period home, Phil. It's got the most picturesque and beautiful back garden. You'll be seeing it now. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, parking for 2 cars. Stunning period feature in great order. I'm meeting Daniel Peer there together with Romy Stolnick, and I'm excited for that 12:30 auction.
As you should be, as I'm excited for number 37 Laura Street, which is an auction that I'm going to be handling with Bernie Mell and Daniel Peer. 4 incredible bedrooms, 2 beautiful bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking for as many as 4 cars. It sits on 748 square metres of prime Caulfield South land. That's a really good buying opportunity. Is it the land, is it the house, or is it both?
82 Oran Crescent is where you'll find me at 1:30, Phil. I'll be there with you. You are the auctioneer for this terrific home. There's been a lot of interest, and I'm not surprised. It's one of the best looking homes that's come to the market this year in Caulfield North.
I'm looking forward to this, Gary. Sits on 803 square metres of land. It's 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking and a swimming pool. What a great home and package that is.
Narrong Road's where you will find Leo Samuel meeting Daniel Peer at 1:30 p.m. Tell us about this.
Gary, what a great building, what a great property. We've sold in this building many times before. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a 2-storey property with an undercover car park. That is a really good property. We love that address.
Phil, 11 Harcourt Avenue is coming up for auction, although I think it's under offer right now, so it may well not make it, but if it does
Watch
make
out
it...
for the sold sticker on that property.
Yep.
Darren Krongold and Liam Elbaum have had the honours there. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, but I think by the time we go to air, it may well have been sold.
Yep. Watson, it's elementary, my dear Watson, Sherlock Holmes would say, and we are going to be in Watson Grove at 2:30. England Huntley, Leo Samuel's the auctioneer.
Meeting Lydia Perry and Aviv Samuel. 2 fabulous bedrooms, 1 gorgeous bathroom, and a massive courtyard garden, as you can see by those photos. That's a standout property, a lot of value there.
I'm hanging out on Sunday in Alexandra Street, and I'm excited, Phil, because I'm not only there at 12:30, I'm going back there at 2:30.
Gary, what a great location, what a great home. 4 incredible bedrooms, 3 magnificent bathrooms, a lock-up garage. This feels and looks like it's a brand new property. Nikki Janover and Jessica Filipovic have had the honours.
Back in Lansdowne Road we go, Phil. I'm there at 2:30. I'm looking forward to, well, I shouldn't say I'm there. We are back in Lansdowne Road. This time Simon Rodonick auctions for Daniel Peer.
Gary, what an incredible property this is, because if you look at the price range, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, a beautiful apartment, a great way to start life by buying something like that.
And 1 Howard Road, Phil, right in the epicentre of the Golden Mile. It does not get better. Number 1 in the number 1 street. What a stunning home this is.
961 square metres, Gary. The most phenomenal home. 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, a swimming pool, 961 square metres of land, a solid brick family home with concrete slab at first level. That is the home with absolutely everything.
Nicely wrapped, Phil. We are back in Lansdowne Road for the 3rd time on the weekend, Phil. This time 24 at 4A Lansdowne Road at 4:30 p.m. Simon Rodonick's the auctioneer.
Gary, what a great property, what a great location. Daniel Peer, Romy Skolnick, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, undercover in the basement. A great location, walk to the tram in Dandenong Road in the Alma Village.
And we conclude our busy weekend at number 13 Airdrie Road, again, one of the best streets in Caulfield North, and you have the auction honours for this beautiful home.
Gary, this home is phenomenal. I've never seen bedrooms that are as big as the bedrooms in this house. 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. There's no arguing over a bathroom in this property. Lamore Herskovitz and Mark Kirkham have had the honours there. That's a turnkey house because there's nothing to do there. Move straight in and get on with life.
The top 3 on the run, homes coming up, Philip. We've got one in Bruce Street, Brighton East. Tell us about this great
Leon
home.
Gusenfitter and Vanessa McGlynn have had the honours there. That's a great property, Gary. It sits on 652 square metres of land. A big, bold house in immaculate condition throughout. 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, more car parking than you can ever imagine. And I do love Bruce Street. It's a beautiful location.
And if you want to go to another great home, Phil, go to 16 Go Street, Caulfield South. Leo is handling this one. Leo,
together with Benjamin Rothschild, 4 beautiful bedrooms, 3 magnificent bathrooms. That's an incredible home, and we love Go Street. It's so well located. Tram in Glen Huntly, tram in Hawthorn, and of course you've got access to Princess Park.
And let's review, last but certainly not least, this big, magnificent home at 250 Buran Road, Ormond.
Gary, Darren Krongold, Joel Sir have had the honours there. 6 incredible bedrooms, 5 fabulous bathrooms, the ability to run some sort of business or home office from there because you've got side entrance. This is the house with absolutely everything. It sits on 633 square metres of land. I did a video tour there and I was overwhelmed with how good that property is.
Phil, that's a big wrap. We are, of course, really wrapping 2 weeks of auctions because we don't have any auctions on the grand final week. I should say, the Melbourne Cup weekend.
Yep.
I do get them mixed up because they're close together and they're both opportunities to celebrate and to lose money. But Phil, hopefully we won't be doing that in the Melbourne Cup because we'll find the winner. But that is a big wrap anyway on this week's GPTV. Lots of action, lots of excitement. Thanks for tuning in. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.